And hello everyone, welcome back to FS Rick News. Underground weather and news. Today, we're tracking the latest updates on Tropical Storm Grace and the remains of Fred, or let's just say it could be a tropical depression Fred, but it's called remains of Fred. So it's a remains. So how do I say this? Well, it's basically what we call it it's basically a weekend system. So it's a weekend system here. So there remains a Fred, but still active, and it could reform to tropical storm. So yeah. So let's talk about the latest news and updates on tropical storm Grace and the remains of Fred, or we can call it tropical depression Fred. So, welcome to FS Rick News on Invaders Underground Weather News. I'm meteorologist Invader here, and today we're going to talk about the latest weather updates here right now on Tropical Storm Grace and Fred. The new advisories are out, and we are monitoring the latest situation here at FS Rick News. So, just get into the news now. First things first, let's talk about the remains of Fred here. Maximum staying winds are at 35 miles right now. Minimum central pressure is about 1,013 millibars, located 23.3 north, 83.2 west. Movement is west-northwest at 12 miles right now. This is going to reform as you can see at the bottom. Formation chances are at 90%. In the next 48 hours and 5 days, they're high, so this has a good chance of reforming. So, people along west of this, including west of Florida and Georgia, if you're west of this system, like if you're like if you're to the east or to the right, if you're right of the system, to the right of this, in this direction, to the right or east of the system, it will be moving. Much of the impacts could be felt to the east, so like the Florida Panhandle, parts of the Alabama coast, parts of Alabama, east of Alabama, parts of eastern Georgia here, probably east to the east of the system, like western Georgia, north and central Georgia could feel the impacts. So it'll basically be all the impacts could be east of the system, so everything will be felt to the east. So Georgia, Florida, the Panhandle, specifically the Panhandle, Florida, could feel much of these impacts as we are monitoring Fred here, tropical Fred or remains of Fred we are watching. So the latest updates, landfall is expected at 8 p.m. Monday. It will be over Alabama on 8 a.m. Tuesday. Then up here as a post tropical cyclone by 8 a.m. Wednesday. So post tropical cyclone Fred moving up northwestward here, and it's gonna take a little westward path, then up north eastward. So yeah, we're gonna get the latest news and weather updates as it comes in, but we're still monitoring those updates here. And here's the arrival time of winds. The earliest reasonable arrival time is right here. The most likely time is here. The earliest reasonable. Key messages you should know here. Uh, so Fred is forecast to regenerate as a tropical cyclone over the Gulf of Mexico on Sunday and bring a risk of tropical storm conditions to portions of the northern Gulf Coast, especially from coastal Mississippi to the Florida Panhandle, beginning on Monday. Watches may be required for a portion of this area later in the weekend. Talking about Tropical Storm Grace now, the latest updates sustain winds at 40 knots or 45 miles now. Pressures at 1,007 millibars. Um, Winds are west at 20 knots for 23 miles. Latest updates here from the National Hurricane Center. The new update here. So this is the key messages here. And let's get to the warnings cone here. The 3-day outlook shows that the system is projected to move over the Leeward Islands, parts of Puerto Rico here, Dominican Republic, tropical storm watch, tropical storm warnings for the Leeward Islands, parts of the Leeward Islands, and Puerto Rico. Full forecast expected to take Tropical Storm Grace up northward here and take it to South Florida, north of Cuba here. So will be a tropical storm status. People over Florida, South Florida, parts of the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Leeward Islands should be on guard and on alert, especially these areas in the extension cone should be monitoring this very closely as we could get new updates coming soon from the National Hurricane Center as FS News will be monitoring, giving the latest news and weather updates as we have here. So let's see when it hits. Winds are projected when it hits South Florida. This is a cool interactive map we have. The National Hurricane Center has here, and by the time it reaches Florida, it's expected to bring 50-mile winds here. So wind gusts are at 65 miles here. Then this one will be 50-mile winds over south of the Bahamas, North Cuba, near the Dominican Republic. 50 miles, so it's gonna regain strength soon. 60 miles when it makes landfall over the Dominican Republic here. For Puerto Rico, it's 60 miles, so it's going to regain a lot of strength, so people should be on alert for Tropical Storm Grace here as it continues to move northward here and westward. So it's going to be moving westward towards Florida, and we'll get the latest news and updates, so people should be monitoring this closely, and we'll have more updates soon, so stay tuned for that. Now let's talk about what we're expecting. So let's not waste time here, get into the new updates here. So Tropical Grace is strengthening here in the waters here. As you can see, the thing is moving westward here. The satellite loop is loading here. Yeah, it's loading. So you can see it's heading towards Leeward Islands. It's already making its impacts in the Leeward Islands right now. It's about to end. It's gonna be, and Puerto Rico should be on alert because this is gonna come to you next very soon, sooner or later. Then here's the motor track guidance. New updates show that this thing will move kind of a little southward here. But all the spaghetti models are saying the motor track guidance has shifted a little here from last time as we talked on our Invaders morning headquarters weather and news here. They expect it to move into the Gulf of Mexico. So and maybe there's a chance that this thing could turn towards the Mississippi, Louisiana, or Alabama, Florida Panhandle coast. So there's still some little uncertainty, but we'll be watching that very soon and we'll be closely monitoring that. As well as there could be a little chance that this could gain Category 1 intensity guidance. So please monitor that too, because we could see Grace turn into Hurricane Grace, which could be a potential Category 1, as all models are trying to agree. They're off the charts too. So this is all most of the models could say hurricane strength, but I'm guessing Category 1 for now. Maybe Category 2, but Category 1. So we're watching those winds very closely. So people should come back here, like, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification button to get an update on this system. So if you live any of these areas, I said Florida, South Florida, Gulf of Mexico, along the coast there, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Leeward Islands should be monitoring this. So the remains are Fred right now. It's so you can see south. It's south of Florida here, the South Florida Keys, and it's moving gradually, slowly here, but it's trying to. But it will turn back into a tropical depression, then tropical storm, and make its impact soon. So people should be on alert for those areas here. As you can see, the system is trying to reorganize itself here. As you can see with the satellite imagery here. So track guidance takes it. All models are taking it towards the Alabama coast and up northward here, according to what the models. And if you're along east here, so if you're east like parts of Alabama, parts of Georgia, and Florida Panhandle, maybe parts of Florida coast here, you could be impacted. So basically, this area here, probably like Tampa, Tallahassee, Panama City, Pensacola, could be little impact with some rain, but I'm mostly thinking it'll be along this eastward line. So probably this little greenish line right here could be impacted. So rain, but I'm going to show you in a GFS model run. Soon you get a clear understanding what I'm trying to say. But this is expected to regain tropical storm intensity, then go back down. So it's going to regain tropical storm intensity, then go back down later on. So we're just going to watch on that later. The SSTs here, or the sea surface temperatures, is gradually very warm in the Gulf of Mexico. Kind of warm where Grace is in the 28-degree range here. So that's probably about around 84, 85 degrees here. Very warm in this area. Or actually it's 83, or actually it's probably around 82 or 83 degrees here in this area. It's probably very high in this area. Around 84, 83 degrees with the sea surface temperatures. I'm not actually sure, so I think it's around that, if I remember that well. But it's really high temperatures in these areas, so this is why this Grace and Fred are re-strengthening these two hurricane names we're watching. We have to watch closely. So we've been 10 minutes already, so let's get wrapping this up here with the forecast. So Fred, the low pressure system's right here, expected to make landfall. According to GFS model, saying a Florida panhandle, so this could shift a little. Then what I meant by impacts eastward, so this huge rain system will bring a lot of moisture that's gonna move towards east. So westward you won't get a lot of impacts. But you're east to the system here. See how it's bringing all this moisture and rain here? It's gonna bring impacts to Georgia, parts of Florida here. Well, all this moisture is gonna be going up then gone. Then watch this low pressure. Tropical storm Grace expected to bring more moisture to South Florida. So the Bahamas, this is gonna be a big chunk of moisture as it passes South Florida here, Florida Keys, South Florida. Then watch this, watch this. Remember how I told you the model said they are taking this towards westward? Now the Gulf of Mexico. Let's not take to the Gulf of Mexico. This could be a Category 2, Category 3 hurricane. So we're expecting a major hurricane. Oh, a major hurricane, probably Category 4. So this is all. So this is gonna be. So remember, I told you on the SSTs that how the weather models are saying. So remember how we got that warm water where it's 30 degrees Celsius in the Gulf of Mexico. This is because when it gets all this water, it's basically energy for the hurricane. So it's basically all the water that gets sucked in. The warm water is basically power and energy for this hurricane. Where we'll take it to the Gulf of Mexico. So this hurricane wants to stay in the Gulf of Mexico, where we're strengthening and strengthening. How watch this how this low pressure bar is decreasing. See how the numbers are decreasing down to 972, 961, 958, 948. That means this hurricane is strengthening. It's strengthening every path it's taking, and at first we thought this system will move this direction. It's going to move over to the Alabama Panhandle, Florida Panhandle coast for landfall. But now this has changed. The GFS model is now saying the Texas landfall is possible over around the Corpus Christi area. And yeah, it's going to be a strong hurricane once it makes landfall. Category 3, Category 4 hurricane landfall expected. I'm guessing Category 3 landfall. A major hurricane landfall. So this is going to be a big one. So people should be on alert and prepared because but remember, don't say it's gonna be Category 3 landfall. I'm just saying in my prediction, this is we're way too far out with the with this landfall. And by the time it makes landfall, it's near August 23rd. But we're still way too far out, so we don't exactly sure when, where, how strong it is. So please stay tuned for any latest news and weather updates because we're out kind of way far out with the weather model like landfall. So we have to stay tuned for more information as this hurricane makes landfall. So stay tuned for that. And the latest news and weather information. We're way too far out. We're not exactly sure where it's gonna go. The path could change. The intensity could change. So don't expect this to happen. Don't expect this to happen. We are not sure where it's gonna make landfall, or how strong it will be, or what exact time or date. But we'll just have to wait and see how Grace could be. But this won't be good because first of all, these sea surface temperatures are high. So if Grace goes in this area, it's gonna be so high it could intensify. So please stay on alert and stay tuned for any updates on Tropical Storm Grace here as we're watching. So that is all I can tell you for now on Invaders, not on Invaders underground weather and news. I'm Mirage Invader. Thanks for watching, and we'll get more information later on. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys next video. Bye, everyone.